Let's try that again. Hello everybody, Gaz Williams here. Just starting streaming. Let's hope it all works okay. And I'm just going to get things up so I can see things. Hope everyone is well. And yeah, I've got a funny show tonight. My goodness, look at this. Suzuki QChord. I'll explain all in a moment. Just going to make sure everything's working with the stream. And thank you everybody who joins. It really means a lot to me. So I really love that. So I've lost the ability to see comments, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, okay. Well, hang on. I'm going to see if I can do something else. I think this always happens, doesn't it? I think this is just part of the fun of it all. Okay, so just bear with me. Oh, am I gone? Right, I'm just getting things set up here. And let's just, if you can just bear with me. So sorry about this. I need to change my streaming platform, I think. I'll do that soon. Okay, let's just check. Okay, I might just... am I rocking? Am I frozen? Okay, no, it's all good. Right, okay. Right. Okay. We're good. I think we're good. Hello, Grace. Thank you. Let's get things rolling here. Okay. Firstly, apologies if you're tuning in to see Eyal, Amir, or Lubyanica, who are going to be joining me today. They've had to postpone to do with their piece of software that they're releasing. We were going to talk about that on the show tonight. That's going to be coming out. We are going to do it. I'm not quite sure. We haven't set a new date. It was to do with their release. I think there's some issue with the software. Okay, but anyway, let's get on to the show tonight. I haven't been doing many shows lately, so I expect this is going to be a little bit of a fraught affair as I get things working again. And also, I don't expect huge amounts of people to tune in because it is a little bit unexpected because I'm not being consistent like I had been certainly during the lockdown period. However, thank you so much, anyone and everyone who does join, and does mean a lot to me. And for those of you who come back, and also for new people, and please consider subscribing to see more kind of bearded man waffle fairly aimlessly about generally music tech stuff or bass guitar, which is what I kind of want to talk about. But no one else wants me to talk about. Okay, let's just get this mic up a little bit. Hoping everyone is well. I mean, this attic is not air conditioned and is really hot and sweaty. Hi, Steve Powell. Hey, Kent Spong. Great to have you here. Okay, let's have a little look what we got here. We have got the Suzuki QChord. Okay, now this is the last of the Omnichords that Suzuki made. I think they started sometime in the 1980s, and I think this last one dates from around the year 2000. And this was their kind of all singing, all dancing Omnichord that actually features Midi. Now, I got the Midi out coming here into a DeepMind 12. That is by my right here. And I've only just plugged it in. And the MIDI is laughably bad, as we will explore. It's like, oh, Kent has got one in the garage. That's funny. I guess that's sort of where a lot of these are likely to end up. Now, the original Omnichord, very similar in principle. You've got these chord buttons and you've got the strum plate and you've got sort of accompaniment, and they tried to sort of up it here with this with this version, with some extra fancy bits and the aforementioned MIDI. My mic is obscuring the comments. Let me just move that a little bit. Sorry, bear with me. There we go. Ooh, creaky. There we go. Oh, is it? Yes, it's dropping. It's drooping. I've suffered mic droop many a time on my show. Rah! No, that was a bad idea. Hang on, I'll turn the mic off. Droop. Yes, we got. I don't know what that's. I tried to do it. It's extended. It's overextended. I've overextended my mic, and it can't handle the weight. Okay. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna let it find its own. Oh, sorry about this. There's always chaos on my show, but anyway, we get there in the end. Right, let's try that. Right. Stay. Oh no, that's not going to do it. No, it can't take it. It's not going to take it. Never did and never will. Yeah. Oh dear. Okay. That was a bad idea. I might have to go and get a mic stand. Let's see. Might be a little bit roomy. Mic's a bit too far away, but I think it's found its natural place now. Apologies for that. Okay. Suzuki QChord. Back to this again. Right. So the original Omnichord then, has been used on lots of records by people because it is quite fun. You can press a chord and then you can kind of strum it. Since Addict's asking me, did I get any of the silly Q cartridges for it? When I bought it, it came with one. I bought this from Mr. Marcus Fuller, who some of you may be familiar with. He used to do kind of equipment, opening up synthesizers, having a look. But yes, and the only cartridge I've got is Country Hits. What we got on here? We have got things like there's Ring of Fire on here, and other tunes, many of which I don't know. And of course, I will get busted by the YouTube police if I even try to play any of these. But anyway, the cartridges, though, they slot into the top, into the pseudo headstock. Oh, I think you have to turn it off when you insert. If you're just joining me, we're looking at the Suzuki QChord. I've got it midied up to the DeepMind 12 to my right here. Yeah. Now the thing about this QChord is it is made quite well. It's got a built-in speaker, and it does sound kind of quite good in a cheesy sort of way. Let's have a listen. So first thing you got to be aware of, though, when you turn it on, you can't configure how it's going to be when you turn it on. Basically, it defaults to a bossa nova at a certain tempo with the guitar as a strum plate and with kind of a string sound on here. And it's kind of frustrating, because if you're using that live and pulled the cable out and plugged it back in, there's a bunch of button presses that you have to do to get it into some sort of playable mode. Otherwise, it will play all this auto accompaniment stuff, which I bet most people probably wouldn't want live. Anyway, so you turn it on, and it's kind of waiting for your first button press. As soon as you press it, we get this. We get this. Let's do that again. Okay. So. those chords there was just from the ending button. So it's kind of like, it's just instant cheese. And you've got a bunch of different rhythms. Oh my goodness, there's so many things to hate about this, and kind of love, but hate as well, in terms of it's so kind of irritating in so many ways. However, it is still quite a lot of fun. So, as I mentioned, then if I changed any of the settings, powered it down, turned it back on, went to press a thing, we would be back to yes. So you can configure with a chord mode and a few of the things exactly how it's going to play. But a button that is worth knowing about is this easy play. Now, I would have thought easy play would have been exactly that. You switch that on to have all of that auto accompaniment. But no, it's kind of the other way around. You turn easy play on and now it's not going to start playing. So when I play a key, I just get chords. And this is kind of where we want it to be in a way. Chord hold is on at the moment. And I think, yeah, if you turn this off now, then you can turn the chords off and just get the strum. Now, as I say, I got this midied up. My thinking was, oh, okay, I know it's got all this cheesy accompaniment stuff on, but if you could just use it as a controller with, I guess it's a bit like a posh, a posh, what are they called? Chord bot, which takes a bit of influence from, that's got a strum plate and chords. In fact, as it goes, the chord bot actually is much better. It's much better than this in many ways. But so I can but I can't seem to do it so I can have chords. I can have this guitar chord. Oh yeah, that's right. So horrible. It's like this horrible, is these horrible buttons that you press and they don't do anything. It sort of does it sometimes and then doesn't. Is it because I'm in easy play? Oh, it might be. Yes, I'm in easy play. Oh, I want to go to easy play. It's really crazy frustrating. I mean, this thing is frustrating. It's like, it's frustrating. Synth Addict is talking about something. You kind of get into my kind of big funny moment there. The strum plate, using three channels. Oh my God. Honestly, the frustration with this thing is ridiculous, because it could have been so good. As it is, it's just like a kind of quirky anomaly. However, I have been playing it quite a lot. What I haven't done with it yet, and I think is probably something that will be quite good, is run it through a load of cool guitar pedals. I think that would give it some real kind of some real potential. But anyway, so I'm in an easy play. Just a quick thing about the chords. So we got all our major chords along here, arranged in the circle of fifths. Then the next row are minors, and then the next row are sevenths. And if I wanted to play a minor seventh, I play the minor button as well. Otherwise, it plays a dominant seventh. If I want a major seventh, I press the major button. And then if I play the major and the minor together, we get diminished chords. And if I play all three, we get augmented chords. Obviously not velocity sensitive. Oh, Kent is saying I need my micro switches replaced. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, because he's cut this one. I don't think maybe that button isn't working then. The chord hold button. Or is it? If I come out of here. Oh, no, it works. It does work in that mode. Okay, it's just me. Now, you can also... you can turn this thing into a melody keyboard. Now, if I remember, I have to come out of this, come out of Easy Play, and I can turn this now into a keyboard, and it would be, I think they might have come with an overlay where you can, oops, yeah, etc. So it is a bit difficult to see without. So yeah, so you could get this. So Synthetic saying get the OM 200 or the OM 300, much more fun and simple, but with less fancy sounds. The older 2-digit OM devices have retro voices, but no MIDI. Yeah, I'm sort of seeing that now a little bit, because I was thinking, oh yeah, MIDI, but as we'll explore later, the MIDI really is pretty terrible on this thing. Now, it should be mentioned though, Suzuki are aiming the, or rather were aiming the QChord very much for a home entertainment device. They're not really making it as a sort of professional music device. They kind of allude to that in the manual, but really it's now I want to press the demo, but the demo it's the Beatles, Michelle, and you just get instant block, don't it? Instant sort of, I don't know about block, but copyright takedowns and stuff if you use the Beatles. And similarly, if you play any of the QChord songs, of which there's a little digital display here, so you can step through whatever's in your cartridge. Now, there is a cartridge that you can get which isn't songs, which is extra rhythms. And I kind of think that might be worth getting. Do it, don't do it. Oh, you can slow it down.
These are words that go together. They go together well.
Now, will I get busted for that? Yeah. Right. So I was kind of thinking, yeah, when I saw Marcus was selling one of these, I thought, oh, I've always kind of wanted one. I wanted the Omnichord, I guess. I realise more now. But then, as I say, when I saw that this could do MIDI, I was like, oh. But as you see shortly, that isn't such a great thing. Now, the speaker that's built into this, and it's got some bass porting in it, is actually quite loud and quite good, given what it is. So when you sit it in front of you, I mean, it's kind of guitar shaped, but, there are little kind of stud holes here and here, presumably to wear on a strap. Whoa! But, I think you must have to have the tiniest of hands. This bit here, they could have done away with that bit. They could have done away with that bit there. I think that bit there was to make it look like a guitar, but it would have been conceivable that you could have used it on a strap. But with this bit there, it completely scuppers it. You just, I can't even squeeze my hand into that slot there. So yeah, it's a really peculiar. There's so many peculiar choices in this. Now, here is the pitch bend. Oh, I can't really. how can I show that? Here. So the ergonomics of that is that you can strum it. Oops, lost it then. But yeah, so that's something that wasn't on the original Omnichord either. So it feels like kind of they've tried to sort of make this kind of ultimate Omnichord, and in doing so, maybe have lost some of what made the original Omnichord kind of cool. However, as I say, there still is joy to be had. Now, I've got it plugged into the Boss RC505 here. Maybe I'll do some looping with it, but the reason I've got it plugged in there primarily is to apply some effects. So synthetic tapping the strum plate like an arpeggio can be more fun than playing. So you mean sort of... The girl from Diarrhea. Yeah. I've been playing Casey Jones by the Grateful Dead on this with the country mode. I'd want to play it for you, but again, I just don't know if you can. It's annoying, isn't it? But the Grateful Dead are a band who I never really ever particularly liked when I was younger. I was getting into sort of like psychedelic music, and I heard that the ultimate acid band was the Grateful Dead, and I listened to it, and it's just like noodly country rock, really American-y noodly country rock with no apparent psychedelic bits at all. I was really kind of confused about them, but I've kind of switched onto them now. Maybe it's because I look more like Jerry Garcia as I've got older. No, but to be honest, I've always kind of wanted to like them. But what did it for me was that fantastic 6-part series called Long Strange Trip, documentary series about the Grateful Dead, executive produced by Martin Scorsese, which I think executive produced means either put the money up for it or just they have a word in influential people's ears. But yeah, that actually switched me on to them. I've been listening to them like non-stop since then, and watching loads of watching loads. So anyway, that's been on my head a little bit. The Ballad of Casey Jones is a traditional American song. It should be copyright free. Yeah. Shouldn't it? Hang on. So I've dropped the tempo a little bit. Let me get... Where are we going? Right, driving. Oh, I can't do it. Fall into bits. No. It's funny. It is actually. It's so cheesy playing it with the arrangement, but it is funny. It's like how it was meant to be used. Everyone sitting at home, singing along with it, almost like an interactive karaoke device. But it's a bit weird as well when you are trying to follow chord sequences, because remembering where they all are. It'd have been useful if they were like, I don't know, if there was some sort of colour patterns through here, something to make it a little bit more to make it a little bit easier to navigate. There are a few buttons on here, so you can be in some sort of other programming modes, and some of these are I've got up and down. I don't think you'll be able to see them just on there. But even that might have been better if they'd have made a few more of them on there, so you could find the chords without having to look. And if it's in low light, it's really tricky to see where it is. So Kent Spong, play the Spongles, Brown Water in My Shower. Yeah, I reckon I can do that. I'm gonna have to let's just do this now.
Right. I feel like I can't go on any longer. Whilst this song is burning a hole in my eyes, cannot go on any longer.
I think it goes something like that. I can't quite remember if I got the chords in the right way around. Yeah. So, what am I going to do with this thing? What am I going to do with it? I do, however, think when I'm working on some productions, music productions, overdubbing, I think it will be actually quite useful for, I think. So let's try then going into easy play. So when you play easy play, this plays chords. Now it's playing like a string sound. The only way, as far as I can see, to change the sound, the underlying sound on here, is to change the rhythm. So logically, to change the string sound, I change it from a bossa nova to country, or to dance, jazz, or back to the strings, new age. March gives me this sort of brassy sound. Stop, chord, stop! Stop! There really doesn't seem to be... Okay. Let's just get some better sounds on here. Sorry, can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just fiddling through some of the sounds on the boss here to get some effects going on. Now there are some, actually turn them off for a moment. There are a few effects. You've got a reverb and you've got a vibrato. I think that only applies to this. Let's just turn these bits off. Right, yeah, dry. So there's a vibrato. and a reverb. I can turn the reverb off. So, and that's it. That's it. So, I mean, it's sort of like, you know, it's super limited, really. But let's try putting some of these effects on. So this is where I think it's got potential. Thanks, Ron. So, I mean, I'm just messing here, but I mean, actually, definitely a bit of filtering some of that top off there. Sampling it seems like the only hope for getting something out of this. Yeah, now, one of the reasons why I wanted to get an Omnichord is the great Amon Tobin, who I'm a huge fan of. He made a whole album using a broken Omnichord, sampling it and using it in various ways. I don't know quite how broken it was, but, you know, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, that could be kind of cool. Now, I'm going to, you know, one of the things I was excited to kind of do tonight, and is really, really quite awful, is explore the MIDI on this thing. And it's like, oh my goodness, you know, the designers should be shot, really, because they could have made an absolutely brilliant MIDI controller. Oh, I say brilliant, let's say a decent MIDI controller with it. Or even, I would even hesitate to say a functioning MIDI controller, because as it goes, it's really is pretty terrible as a MIDI controller. Oh, come on, let's do that then. So it's got MIDI in and out, so you can use it as a MIDI expander. So should you want these sounds, you could play them from another keyboard. Haven't got into that. Oh yeah, just before I do that though, and on that topic, this Strum pad, you've got 10 sounds that you can assign to it. I'll just take the effects off a moment. So what we got? We got guitar, piano, strings, vibes. I got the vibrato on, let's do that. And this touch plate. Oh, I got something else going on with it there as well. Oh yeah, I can see what's going on. Let me just get that mixer. Yeah. So this touch plate then isn't monophonic, is polyphonic, but I think it's 3. It's quite odd. quite hard to work out what the polyphony actually is. And it's actually also hard to play specific songs. I know it's the strum plate. It's meant to be sort of strummed through or so. But anyway, yes, we've got vibes, and then we've got organ, and we've got voice. The doo-doo thing. Is there a genre of music in Japan that involves a doo? Kent saying it sounds like 3-channel poly. I think it is. I think it is 3-channel. Yeah. What else we got on here? We got flute. So I think this came out in the year 2000. So I suppose that gives us some indicator of what the sound chip is probably something that was used in other things, I guess, these particular sounds. Oh, you've also got a sustain control for the strum plate as well. So like this flute. So, or I can have definitely 3-voice polyphonic. And then what else we got? Harp, which is probably one of the most useful sounds, I guess, for this. Let's put some of these effects on that again. Thank you, Richard Watson. That's very kind. Yeah, so, you know, I mean, that's kind of classic Omnichord sort of style, really, isn't it? Harp and then synth. Take the effects off, hear that synth sound. Haha, AD best. And then sound effects, which I guess is probably something from the general Midi set, isn't it? But what we got? Get a metronome in there. Oh, was there the helicopter in there somewhere? Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So, that's our choice of strum plate voices. But the fun doesn't end there. Now, with this kind of rather cryptic way of doing things, I think we come out of easy play, hit this until punch switches until it's on melody keyboard, then hit F sharp. Now we have got 100 different sounds that we can somehow get onto here. Oh. And you got, so you can step up now with this little screen here. I thought you could somehow. It's cryptic. It's weird. Right, off there. Maybe there's some way of doing it anyway. I thought I remembered to do it. But yeah, you can get to 100 tones somehow in some weird and cryptic manner. Should you wish. Our cold storage is saying the strum pad seems to work as a rusty, oily stylophone key bed. Yeah. Grace Griffin saying that has had loads of sticky switch issues, which have often been a limitation when gigging because you don't know if it's going to change sound or not. Shane Simpson's asking me, hey Gaz, do you like the Vermona DRM1 Mark IV? Yes, I do. I've got the Mark III. I think it's, yeah, mine's the Mark III, and the Mark IV is great. It's really great. It's the improvements on that are great, including if you get that. We're talking about the analog drum voices there, the 8 analog drum voices from Vermona. I'd love one, but I got the Mark III, and I don't think you could justify the Mark IV when you got a Mark III. Although you can get it in two forms. You can get it so it's just by MIDI, or you can get it so it's got triggers as well, like gate triggers on there. And one of the things when I bought the original one, I didn't go for the gate triggers because I knew I was going to want velocity sensitivity. Well, if you get the Mark IV Vermona DRM with the trigger option, it's got that thing now where actually the strength of trigger can control how much velocity is involved. Not a lot of things send out different trigger gates, different gate velocities, but yeah, that does make it quite cool. I've got a Lyra 8. Yes, I have, and I think it's fantastic. And I'm going to be using it at an event in Birmingham in September. More, I'll talk about that in. So that's going to be that's something really interesting. Synth Addict just got an Eigenharp Pico on eBay just because I had one of them as well. Yeah. Anyway, I digress, as I usually do. Let's come back here. So I'm talking about MIDI. Have I tried the Suzuki GSXR 1000 K4? If I had, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here because I love motorbikes, but I always crash motorbikes. Always have. I used to have a few different crosses when I lived out in the countryside. Used to love going off-roading, but I would go flying, come off it all the time. I love motorbikes, but I just realised they would be the death of me. But yeah, I reckon that Suzuki have got more kind of... I mean, they make pianos. They do make other instruments, don't they? But I think that they're probably better at making motorbikes than they are music tech gear. The GSXR makes a better sound. Yeah, I think it probably does too. So I'm forgetting how to do this now. It's really odd. There's a way of doing it. That's not it. I can't remember. I won't bore you with it, but somehow there's some weird and cryptic way of stepping through all of the sounds, the 100 different sounds that you can have. But again, you know, you find that sound, it doesn't remember it. As soon as you turn it off and turn it back on again, it reverts back to our trusty this outro on the those chords are all part of the outro for the bossa nova. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Let's do another one. Let's take the waltz intro. All together now. Something about refusing to eat cold liver, I think the lyrics were, and then choosing to chew it constantly, don't swallow. Outro. Yeah, I can never remember that song either. They're funny, these intros and outros, though, having all these extra chords that you didn't kind of ask it to do. Oh, I tell you what, I have to go to New Age, though. Let's have a look. What New Age? What is a New Age intro? What does a New Age intro consist of? I think we should just do it in diminished chords only. Outro. It's like a fretless one. This is all the outro. I tell you what, the intonation of the fretless was very accurate. It was completely out. Listen. Maybe it was it's getting... Weird. I love Japanese. I just love Japanese quirk, though, to be fair. Japan is a beautiful country, though. I've been there quite a few times. I've played gigs over there, and it is a place to visit, though, if you ever get a chance. It truly is a remarkable place, and the people are just so charming, and it's amazing. So that's just my little bit for the Japanese tourist board. But actually, when you do go into the shopping malls and stuff, they do have this music playing that is, I'm pretty sure it's not kind of hit records. It is sort of like almost like a muzak that's playing really quite loud in the shopping malls. But they are, yeah. So I think there is a kind of, I think there is a little... like a genre, like Japanese shopping mall sort of genre, well, but or like a super cheesy thing. You get it in like these beautiful anime films, or like, you know, Studio Ghibli films, and they play this really cheesy, so this super cheesy music with really cheesy sort of tonality as well. But I kind of love it, though, in part of that sort of the peculiarities of Japanese culture, I think. Anyway, I digress. Right, we were going to go to Midi. Right, so let's say, so I've got it Midi'd out then from here and into the DeepMind 12. Now, there's fixed MIDI outputs that you can't change on the QChord, and herein then is one of the big, for me, was the big disappointment, is that this strum plate then is it outputs each touch of the three kind of as a separate MIDI channel. And that's like, oh, okay, all right, so let's do it. So I'm going to turn off this internal sound now, and we're just going to hear the DeepMind, and I just use initially just the initial patch on here. Hang on, wasn't that a Nintendo? Let's just turn it up a little bit. So only the first, just a single note in different octaves comes out. So let's see what MIDI channel I'm on. Global. Okay. So it's 14. Oh. And that's it. That's it. Now, here comes the clincher, right? This is crazy now. This is crazy. So, the DeepMind is a 12-voice polyphonic synth. So you think, okay, cool. Well, why don't we put it to receive in Omni? Okay. So long as I'm in the easy play mode, at the beginning of the show, we're kind of explaining that in the easy play mode here, you know, that turns off the rhythms. So, so it stands to reason if we're in the easy play mode and we turn the DeepMind into Omni to receive Omni. And you can't get rid of the drums. I could change the tempo. Could I? No. Because I'm in easy play. So easy play. So I could get the strum plate to work. So it's... So come out of easy play. Oh my goodness. So I could, so you can't, so what you'd have to do, I guess, is go through a little MIDI filter box and turn off turn off the channels that you don't want, like MIDI channel 10, for instance. So yes, there is a way that you could do it using a filter. So yeah, Synthadic's suggesting is the same thing, use a filter with a DAW or a MIDI event processor. Or I think what would be really super cool is one of the really cool RetroKits MIDI interfaces. And then filter it down to just like the 3 choices here. But also actually what could be quite useful though is playing chords, like using this as a chord player. But really I think for MIDI that's what I'd want, is I'd want like the 3 voices of this. But yeah, so that's it now. So so if I want to play something, we get in bossa nova, tempo, but turning the volume down makes no difference. Country, dance. Oh, actually, bossa nova. Let's just have that again. Outro. You know, so it's like, can you imagine that being a bit disappointing for people, isn't it? You know, they bring back their shiny new QChord, MIDI it all up, and then So yeah, but all is not lost though with the aid of a MIDI filter. So yes, but definitely disappointing. GNU Ninja likes it, yeah. But yeah, what a strange thing. Definitely, definitely got some use. Definitely got some use. I think my favourite thing then is certainly not using it with MIDI right now, but is with doused with effects in easy play mode, maybe with the harp sound. Yeah, that, I suppose. Not necessarily those effects, but that, using it like that in some sort of way with loads of effects. And yeah, but overall though, it's a definite, like, not great, but quite a fun thing to have. And yeah, I haven't worked as a music producer really, as I used to do that. That's kind of was my main job. I haven't really done a lot of music production in the last few years. Something I'd like to get back into. I love working with an artist. Love it. I love it. I love creative music production. Is one of the most joyful things to do. I do it. I do make some music myself, not as much as I used to do, but in a production, this could come in useful on, in an album, on a song or two. But beyond that, I think, although, as I say, I have been enjoying singing along with it as it was originally, using it as it was originally intended for, but yeah. Anyway, this is only going to be I'm going to finish off my show tonight, though. Harry Turner, Looper Action, ends the show on a strumathon. Okay, I think we've come this far, so let's see what we can do then. With that, then. So I'm going to pick some chords. I think that'll be key then. So we'll have how about a D flat minor? No, I know what. Okay. First, audience members, 3 chords. Well, one. Give me some chords. Make them, just post one chord, and then the first 3 chords that are in the comments, we'll build a song out of that. How about that? Okay, it's up to you now. So I'm watching the comments. Let's see. D. All right. So D. We've got a D. That's our first chord. Next chord. A major 7th. Okay, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. E flat. Oh no, we got loads of chords coming in now. All right. Okay, don't put any more chords now. I'll also get confused. D, A major 7th, and then we got a D sharp. And Kent has said E flat as well. So let's see what they sound like. So we got D. We've got A flat minor coming. All right, let's see what we got then. So we've got a D. We've got A major 7th. That's quite nice, isn't it? The D and the A major 7th to the D sharp. So that's a bit more of a challenge there, but we can go from our D. Okay, nice. So D. That's quite nice, actually, just the D flat and the E flat. So yeah, so we got those. Those are our chords. Okay, not the easiest chords to work with. Don't know why I'm putting that B flat in there, but it's quite nice. That helps us get to the E flat then. So I've added another chord there. I've just got bossa nova on my mind. Let's try it. Let's try some bossa. Let's try it with some bossa then. Okay. It's almost got a Bacharach kind of vibe to it. Maybe back to the D then after the, and then we go to our whole. So D. Now if we brought in a D minor, we could Pork Ticket Lounge Sessions. Yes. If we went to D minor now. See if I can get the loop in time now. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll put these That's really going to mess up the loop now. 1, 2, 3, and yes. Can't remember the order now. Right, let's. And then this random bits at the end here. So. That B flat move. Okay. Almost sounds like some hold music. Yeah, not my best piece, but anyway. All right, everyone, thanks so much for joining me tonight. Just a little bit of fun, really, looking at this kind of rather sort of silly thing, the Suzuki QChord. Hope you've enjoyed it. Bit of fun. I'm going to try and be back a little bit more regularly. Apologise if you wanted to watch the show that I promised with Ayel, Amir, and or Lubyanica, they're going to join me soon. They were going to join me to look at their new software, but it's been held up. But anyway, that's it. Hope everyone's well and good. It's great to keep our community together through thick or thin, and yeah, I've got some really exciting things I'm going to be up to that I want to share with everybody as well. So stay tuned for that. There's a whole bunch of things. So keep the faith. And yeah. All right. Big love, everyone. I'm off. Good night.